Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, February, what is today? The 10th, February 10th. Yes, it is, because the calendar said so right in front of me if I'd only looked at it. My name is Aaron Phillips. Thank you so much for tuning in to another fresh edition right off the assembly line of Kiwanis Connects. We have a great show today, another informational, wonderful show. Just want to remind everybody, if you can't continue to watch us on video, that's okay. We still love you. You know why? Because you can download the WWDBTV phone app to your Android or WWDBTV LV to your Apple products. Sitting on, listen, this is like a mini game of Hollywood Squares. In the upper right-hand corner for a block, I'm going to take our Governor Val. Good morning, Governor.
Aloha. So glad to see you, Aaron. And, I'm sitting out actually staring at snow right now.
Oh, so. I feel so sorry for you. Not really. That's your choice. Anyway, and now for the win, we have right there in the middle, sitting in the middle box, we have another Kiwanis International representative. Val, why don't you introduce who our guest is?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to bring Vicki Hermanson to our show today. Vicki and I have had a chance to really get to know each other since October, and she has a couple of hidden superpowers that I didn't realize in the very beginning. And so she knows all about what goes on in the secret halls of Kiwanis International. And so she said she would actually come share some tips and tricks about how we can work with them and how to get the most out of it for our clubs. And so, hi, Vicki. I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, Valerie. It's great to see you again. Although I wish I were back in California because I had such a great time at your mid-year in Monterey. That was wonderful. Thank you for having me out.
Oh, absolutely. I wish we could get you to come to Burbank. You're not going to believe it. It's going to be amazing.
There's a message already coming in.
Yes.
I don't know if you may or may not be able to see it, but John Rummer says, Vicki, I was at your seminar at Mid-Year North. It was great. And I'm sorry.
That's wonderful.
So that's good. So people are, you have stalkers. I mean, fans.
Fans.
It's a treat all the way around the board for a lot of different reasons to have representatives from Kiwanis International to have an opportunity to talk to. And I say that from experience, having been a lieutenant governor multiple times, club officer and everything. From a club level, and no disrespect to any lieutenant governor, but we most of the time hear the same information presented differently from a club or division level and then the district level. But to have a representative from KI come on with us and continue sharing information from the home office, so to speak, as I like to call it, is a great opportunity for not only our district, but all the other folks from other districts and divisions all across the world that are tuning in. And this is another great resource for these folks to have.
Well, I'm happy to be here. And anytime you have any questions, please do reach out to us because we are here for you. You being the members, the clubs, everything, the district, we're here for you.
Right now we're looking at the international having to raise their dues. And I want people to understand there are so many resources that we get from Kiwanis International, and all we have to do is ask. And so, Vicki, that's why I'm so excited that you're here, because there's a host of resources that you're going to make available to us. So Can you share a little bit about some of those things that you want to highlight today?
Okay. Well, I think probably one of the most important things is education. And if you go to Kiwanis.org, everything you need really will be there. From membership with club resources, information about the Children's Fund, if you're looking for grants, information about our service leadership programs. I know that so many of our clubs and members sponsor key clubs, CKI, builders clubs, and really what we're doing with the students is directing them to be future leaders. So that's so important. And then we also have the Kiwanis Family Store linked there. So if you want to get what the cool kids are wearing, that's a great opportunity to do that too.
Good morning.
Loving it.
I just want to shout out, I'm sorry, to Delia Guzman. Good morning, everyone from CNH Division 47 checking in. Good morning, Delia, and everybody up there. Sorry.
Oh, I think it's great. It's like we've got some of our regular folks that are all coming in. There's Doug Chadwick out there as well saying good
Yep.
morning.
Good morning,
Um,
Douglas.
Thank you for sharing the links out there, you guys, and having more folks come in. This is fantastic. You know, one of the things about the cool kids gear, Kiwanians always think, oh, I can do it so much better. I can do it so much less expensive. But the reality is, it's a brand, right, Vicki?
Yes, yes, yes. And I did a session on this at the mid-year that I'm sure George or someone else can do for you in Burbank about how to use the branding information. And if you go to Kiwanis.org/brand, everything you need to get the logo, to request a club logo, everything you need will be there.
The tools are there. People just have to ask for them. And I think when you're down in the trenches in the club level or club presidents, whatnot, we tend to forget that those resources are there because everybody, time and we don't have this. And it's great that we're talking about and reminding folks that those resources are there. And
well, if you're working on a flyer or a poster and you've got your logo on your desktop and you just drag it over and put it in, is it really the right logo? Do you have the right colors? Are you using the right spacing? So Kiwanis.org/brand. Ooh, someone's baking cookies. I'm all that's more exciting than logos, right? If you go to Kiwanis.org/brand and click on the logo button, you'll find everything you need there.
But the key with those cookies are they made in the shape of the logo. That's branding. That's the key part. Go ahead, Val.
I was just going to share, when we talk about branding and logo, one of the things that frustrates me the most is that I'll go out on just a general website and I'll look for a Kiwanis logo, and there will be like 18, 19 different things that pop up, and there's this really ugly bird cage. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's just like this. It looks like the world has been smooshed, and now it's a bird cage with a handle and a K. What's up with that?
That was our old original logo. And when we reworked all the branding in, I think it was 2014, it was right about the time I got to Kiwanis, we went to the streamlined version. And you've got the seal up here. There's I see a live button over our Kiwanis seal. But we removed that bird cage because that was really kind of old fashioned. And as people stretched the logo or manipulated the logo, it would get smushed or whatever. So without it, things are just a lot easier. But
there's a gold front coming in from the upper mid. Oh, sorry.
I love it. And that was one of the reasons why. So if you go to the logos, there we go. Thank you, Douglas Chadwick, for posting that and saying that you always go there. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And so one of the things is that are there like a couple of tips and things to just using that logo that if we kept it in mind, we'd probably not blow any of the branding rules?
As much as possible, try not to decorate it. And everyone wants to add their own individuality to it, but you can use the decorations elsewhere. The seal is really meant to be used just as the seal. And then you can request a custom club logo for your club from that page. Just click on the custom logo button and ask for a logo for your club, and you'll get one, and you'll get it in all the formats so that you can use it digitally. You can use it on paper. You can take it to your vendor and have it put on signs. And vendors will know how to manipulate it and use it. It's the right colors. You can also change it to black and white if you don't want to use the color, or, it costs a lot to print in color. So if you just want to use black and white, it's available that way too. So all the instructions are there. The brand guide is there at Kiwanis.org/brand. There's also just a summary sheet that you can look at that will show you. It has the Pantone colors, which you won't have to worry about, but your printers and those vendors will understand that, and it will make sense to them.
I
You
think
know, I tried to do the logo in purple because we do we do these fabulous Aloha shirts. And I'm going to just do my plug. For $65, you can get the best Aloha shirt on the planet. Um, but I was told very clearly, there will be no logo in purple. There will
Correct.
be no logo in red. There
Correct.
will be no logo in green. You have to go with the colors that we have.
Well, and one of the comparisons I like to make in any of my presentations is, for example, Starbucks. When you see the green mermaid, you know what you're getting. McDonald's, when you see the golden arches, you know what you're getting. Coca-Cola, you know the can is red. If you see a green Coca-Cola can, although I know they've experimented with
Mhm.
some colorations, you will probably not see pink arches or a red mermaid because that detracts from the brand and dilutes the brand. That's why we've selected these colors. These are the colors that we use.
So if I may, first of all, John gets the award for comment of the month, maybe the year. He said in a message, don't forget, this
Yes.
weekly program is a tremendous resource. So John,
Oh,
that's aces, and we appreciate that oh so much.
thank you, John.
I'm, by the way, everybody that is watching and listening on YouTube, by the way, if you are watching on the YouTube channel, post your comments. We can pick those up on there as well. Please hit the like button or invite your friends to this page, to the Kiwanis Connects page. More and more people on the page will help. Now, I'm glad you brought up the colors because I asked this of our guests a couple of weeks ago, and I asked this question more of a devil's advocate because I do know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So here's my question, talking about colors. You say the colors were selected in the logo for branding and you recognize it. However, so did Rotary and Lions. So my question, everybody talks about branding and Kiwanis. And again, I know the answer, but I'm asking it because I want to hear your answer. What does separate the K from the L, right? And the K, whatever, because we all have the same color. So I am in agreement with you. The swoosh is identifiable.
Yes.
But all those companies that you mentioned, every once in a while, like you said, will tweak their colors. Maybe for like Valentine's Day, they may come up with the color for special occasions. But my question has always been, if we want to stand out differently from the other service organizations, why don't we have the gold? I get maybe something other than the blue, but I feel we do need to stand out. They got the same colors. It's not unique. So I would love your feedback on that.
Well, I think the way we stand out is by our members and our service and what we do. You know, the logo is certainly part of our brand, but every one of us is a Kiwanian and carries that brand out into the world. So if you have your Kiwanis logo on your shirt, if you're at an event and you have signage, does it really matter what the color is as long as it's all the same and consistent? You're used to it. You know that it's blue. Just like with Starbucks, you know that it's green. With McDonald's, if you're traveling and you look on the roadside billboards and you see the golden arches, you know exactly what you're going to get there. So it is interesting that our colors are all very similar. And it might be that we were all founded around the same time. But I think what's important, the way that we distinguish ourselves is with our service and with our members.
I think a guy in New York, and I'm really making a stretch for a funny point here. McDonald's is one that you bring up, but how about if you own a McDowell's in New York that Eddie Murphy would go to work at? Anyway, it's a long stretch for a really bad joke. I do have more questions about the branding, and maybe at one point, the colors, Vicki, you and I will have a fun conversation offline. I don't want to detract in this one, but it's important that people recognize it, like the swoosh. They do need to recognize who we are. The general public needs to know. John Q. Public doesn't know what we do, like people within. And so, yeah, the branding has to be consistent for presentation. That's why I said I know the answer, but I always like talking about the color selection because the other groups have the same color. Governor Valley, I think we're up against our first break. If it's okay with you, we'll step out for that first break of the show.
Let's do it.
Excellent. Thank you for watching, everybody. You are watching Kiwanis Connects. More to come, more information from Vicki Val, and I'm just here driving the ship. Don't worry about me. We'll be right back.
International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Thank you for watching, everybody. We are putting Vicki on the hot seat here with all of her knowledge and information. She has a presentation and information which we'll get to in a moment. But Val, sure. I will turn it back to you, please.
Oh, Aaron, I love that commercial. Thank you so much for putting it together. I know a number of clubs have asked about having something that's similar to that. Is it possible for us to get people to make a donation and get their own commercial?
Of course it is. Anything is possible in the world of Las Vegas. We make all your dreams come true, of course. So that commercial, which, by the way, is tagged on the top of our Kiwanis Connect show page, we can customize those. Or if you do have an idea for your own club, our studio here, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting, will do that. So for information on either, I will not disclose any prices on the air. I think it's only, some of these things, especially if you want your own customized, depending upon the depth of the work, that's got to be adjusted by the studio. But if you just want that video that you saw customized with your club information on the back end, it's a $75 contribution, which goes directly to the governor over here and the fund for helping to keep the show going. And you can do that. So email KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. That's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. And you know who will read it? I will, and I will get back to you with all the information that you need. And again, it's a great message. We can customize it. We can put one together. And more importantly, it helps support Governor Val and the things that she is doing to help spread the word about Kiwanis. So, yes, you can.
I love that magic. Support Dr. Val.
That's right.
Yeah, I won't have to get another job to be a Kiwanian. I'm loving that. But I also know that Kiwanis International has done some really phenomenal 30-second, 15-second, and 1-minute commercials. So, Vicki, can you share a little bit about that and how we can go find that stuff?
If you go to Kiwanis.org/brand, I'm going there right now.
By the way, while you're looking up, 29 Palms Division 47, Herman and Company has checked in as well. Good morning out there.
Aloha, Herman. So while Vicki's looking for that, I just know that I have used on my Facebook page and on my Instagram some of those 15-second and 30-second commercials. And last year I actually did one a week. And so people would talk about it, and that would be just a way to do an ask me about Kiwanis. And so Vicki's put in our private chat the link of how you can get to some of those commercials. But Vicki, why don't you talk to us about it?
Well, so if one of you could share that chat, I'm not sure how to do that, so I dropped it in the private chat. You can share that. We've got videos there on our webpage, Kiwanis.org/brand. There's a series of buttons, we call them, and there'll be one that says video. And if you click on that, you can see all of our videos. And we have a longer video that you could, it's a minute, 19 seconds. You would maybe play that in the background before you opened a meeting. 30-second videos, and then a lot of 15-second videos to use on your social media pages or to share in a meeting as inspiration. They're all about kids need Kiwanis and why we do what we do, why you do what you do, and how it benefits the community.
And and one of the things I've discovered that was really good for these videos is when you actually are going to make a presentation to a community group. Like I just went to the local hospital and was doing a presentation. So I actually, while I was waiting for people to get settled, I actually showed one of the 1-minute videos while people were getting seated. And then I said, many of you have had experiences with Kiwanis, so you may have had the same question. You know, because one of them, the lady says, this isn't just an old guy's organization anymore. This is for the young, it's for the old, it's for every age group. And people were like, yeah, I kind of used to think it was an all men's organization. And that just sparks a whole level of conversation and leads to a lot of new partnerships when you share the reality of our organization.
Speaking of videos, we have one just about ready to queue up. But John, can you just simply copy and paste out of that private chat and drop it into the Facebook feed?
I tried and no.
Okay, Vicky, if you
Because
just,
it's
I think Douglas just did.
that's why it's in the
I know.
right.
if you can just copy and paste that link and drop it into the Facebook chat that everybody's following, Vicky, that would work just as well.
Yes.
Because we're
Douglas just put it in for us.
Oh, we did. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Douglas. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, because something in the private chat, when he tries to move it over, it's doing something squirrely. So anyway, so I think we have that. Do we want to start going to the presentation stuff, or we want to get rolling with that?
Sure, we can do that.
So we'll kind of intermittent go in and out of here. So let's get that slideshow up there, and Vicky, take it away.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, we're here for you. We exist to serve you. This is we are a dues-supported organization, so it's important that we provide resources for you. And we have a lot of club resources, from opening clubs, strengthening clubs, the ACE tools, and then education is really important. And you can access the information 24 hours a day, all the education needed for club presidents, secretaries, treasurer, board members. You can take these classes on your own time and at your own speed. Just go back to them. Kiwanis Amplify. This is a new education format that we started last year. There is a cost associated to it, but it can help you as a Kiwanis member not only lead your club, but lead your community. Then convention, this is where a lot of education happens. You can come in person in Minneapolis this year or join virtually. Again, we went back to Amplify. There's a link, if you go to Kiwanis.org/amplify, all the information is there on taking the Amplify courses. I believe, Val, didn't you tell me you went through Amplify?
Absolutely. If you want to pause that for a minute, John, Amplify, it was absolutely amazing. Most people will pay for it's almost like a graduate level course in leadership. And it allows for you to have the opportunity to hear all different aspects of leadership and something that you could take into your work area, your family area. And so I was part of that inaugural group that did Amplify, and I have registered each year, and I'm re-registered this year because I learned something new each time. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it is, because we went and found experts. So we have experts on marketing, on leadership, on soft skills, whatever. And again, back to convention, nurture the future. That's what we do, right? We're here to help kids, nurture them, provide them with what they need to be our future leaders. So we've got a lot of good sessions planned for Kiwanis. And in fact, we met yesterday and outlined a lot of the ones that we're doing. One of the main things all clubs do is the service project. So if you don't have a service project for which you're known, a signature service project, check the website, find out more about it, and learn about what you could do to be known for service in your community. It's the heart of what we do. It's why we're here.
And, I'm going to just say, I'll put a shout out. We had a number of clubs apply for the Signature Service Project Award. And so I'm going to give a shout out to Douglas is chairing that committee, because we want to make sure that our amazing projects that happen throughout CalNEVA actually get acknowledged at the international level. And one of the clubs that's actually in Las Vegas was only 2 years old and won the for small clubs Signature Service Project Award. It's the Centennial Hills. And they did one for a color run that they involved the whole city in. It's a phenomenal event.
Yeah.
And
you
so
talk about a way to get the word out there about Kiwanis. One of the best ways to do that is with a service project, a signature service project.
Absolutely.
I remember a legacy project that we did here. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Springs Preserve site here in Las Vegas. It's a great place. When Phil Junkins, may he rest in peace, was lieutenant governor, our annual project, our K1 Day, we actually, when it was just dirt in the middle of nowhere, we went out for a day and we went out and planted many of the bushes and trees that are there today that are part of the Springs Preserves here in Vegas. And I was part of that. My wife was part of that. My kids were a part of that with us. And so we literally have a standing legacy of Kiwanis and its service projects by being the ones that planted and got the Springs Preserve place started, really. So that's what's great about projects like, so the signature project, that's a K1 Day project, but still it's a service project and it's great. It was great to be part of.
That's fabulous. Well,
Absolutely.
and another one of the other things that we offer on the website is the ACE Tools Achieving Club Excellence. And one of the exercises that you can go through is looking at your club service project. Really examine that and discover if it's still viable, if it's still needed, if it's necessary, if you're really helping your community with that service project. So again, check out the Achieving Club Excellence Toolkit that will help you analyze your club and look at how you can have a really strong impact in your community. And it covers everything from meetings, which we know can be a little on the dry side. Business meetings are not always exciting, but the exciting part comes with the service and the fundraisers.
And at our mid-year, we're going to be doing something that's called dynamic meetings, and being able to do dynamic meetings. And our own John Crawford is partnering up with a couple folks to use some of these tools that he's gained from you guys and some new ones that he's developed, because most people don't want to come to something called a meeting because it feels like work.
Right. Well, and that takes us right into 2 for 2, where this is just where we put a name to something we should have been doing all along, where 2 members of your club would identify 2 potential members in the community and go out and meet with them and talk to them, and maybe not talk to them about coming to a meeting, but talk to them about coming to a service project. Or, oh my gosh, I have a typo on my slide. Oh my gosh.
I see it.
Don't tell anyone. Oh, great.
Oh,
We're
no.
flying everywhere. I need to get that fixed. But what 2 for 2 does is gives you an opportunity to go out and meet with new people in the community. You can talk to them about, look, our service project is, a backpack project. What are the needs as you see them? What could you suggest? If you were to join our club, what would you bring to our club? So all the information on 2 for 2 is on our website as well.
And I want to share with you, you're leading right in. I didn't even have to pay for this. Our guest next week is Anna Wu, who is the international chair for 2 for 2. And she's going to walk us all the way through some tips and hints. We're going to put out a challenge where people can win some prizes for using 2 for 2 in our district. And so I'm very excited about that. And it looks like we've looped back to your branding.
Yes, branding. Branding is really important because, as we talked earlier, branding is more than your logo. It's who you are. It's how people perceive you. It's how you're known in the community. It's really everything. So Kiwanis.org/brand, we have everything on the website that is properly branded. And if you're unsure of how to use the logo, there's information there. If you're looking to up your game on your Facebook pages, your Instagram pages, and you don't know what to do, there are photos there. There are posts that are already written. There are graphics that are already created. All you have to do is right-click on them, download them, and then re-upload them to your page. It's so easy. And if you have any questions on how to do it, ask someone in Builders Club or Key Club if they can help you, because they live in this world. They do it all the time. They're very familiar with it, and really they like to help. If you sponsor an SLP, you could even make it a service project for one of them to come to your club and walk you through how to use all this. And make sure that you're following us too, because all the information that we push out is for you to use.
Ladies,
We've got recorded sessions on how to build a Facebook page, how to use advertising, how to advertise by zip code. All of that is at Kiwanis.org/brand on the social media button.
all right, I need to put a quick pause on that because we need to go to a break at the bottom of the hour. And while John's getting our commercials queued, look into that 2 for 2. I just came up with a great program for that program for a club. And if you want any club out there that wants to do this, just remember who gets the credit for it. 2 for 2 on Taco Tuesday. With that, we're going to step aside for our break.
Love it. Oh, that's fabulous.
I got it. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training. International is a global community of clubs, members and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org.
2 for 2 Tuesday, coming to you soon by a club near you. Anyway, welcome back to Kiwanis Connect. See, people say, look, I want to let everybody know, when you guys are talking, I'm not ignoring. I'm taking notes. I write stuff down to follow up questions and stuff. But when something hits me, I have to write it down. Otherwise, I forget it. So remember, I may copyright that project and send your residuals to me. I don't care if you send me tacos. That's perfectly fine as well. Anyway, thank you for watching Kiwanis Connects. We appreciate it. We have great information going on right now. Vicki is sharing with us a beautiful presentation about ideas, where to find resources and stuff. Plus, we've been discussing other resources and greatly appreciate it. Val, give us your take right now and so far what we've heard in Vicki's messages in the slides before we go back to it.
You know, these are the kind of things that I think all of our clubs need to be tapping into. And most of them don't realize because they get frazzled. So hearing over and over again, you know, this stuff exists for you already. I think that's really important. And it's not, oh, you'll find it. But thank you, Vicki, for being able to share it, you know. And I was just talking with someone earlier this week at our division council meeting. She said every club have to have a Facebook page, and they have to have an Instagram page. What do you think about that?
You know, if you have to meet people where they are. And where are they? They're on Facebook, and more they're on Instagram. And the great thing about Instagram is that you can do the little videos on Instagram. And if you don't know how to do it, Kiwanis.org/brand, click on the social media button. We have tutorials there.
Very cool. You know, I have a hard time connecting, you know, keeping up with my Instagram, my LinkedIn, and my Facebook. But I just went to that page and I discovered that if you post in Instagram, it can also post in other places. Yes. So it's not nearly as much work or overwhelming as many of us believe.
Absolutely.
And so
you can't share that content across multiple platforms, Facebook and Instagram especially. And if you post to one, you can post to the other at the same time.
Which is amazing.
If you don't have a lot of material to post for your club, if you can go back one slide, we have the information at Kiwanis.org/brand. There are graphics there, the short videos that are there. Everything is available to help supplement what you and your club are doing.
I also want to share for ease of posting, and there are probably other programs out there, but a platform like Hootsuite
Yes.
is a platform that I recognize by name, which basically you can make one post, set it up in a way, and from that one post, you can then designate at what time, what day, and where you want your post to go. So, and I know there's other platforms similar to that, but Hootsuite's the one that's most common to me. So those who do manage social media that way, I agree. Going out on one site at a time is very labor intensive. And but an organization like Hootsuite does sort of help clean it up for you. Now that sites can interact back and forth, helps the process. But there are other tools for much more platforms if you're using to just do it one time and let it go. So just thought I'd share that.
And one thing to remember too is the quick takes are more for Facebook and Instagram. You might want to use your LinkedIn page more for thought pieces or recognition that has been given, those types of things. So the LinkedIn is maybe a little more professional. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter are a little more fun, newsworthy, late breaking, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. The one thing I have learned recently is don't tweet late at night. If you're not willing to say it during work hours, just don't tweet it.
And here I thought late at night you'd be worrying about spell check and wrong things going out.
Yeah, the typos are through the roof.
Well, one thing you do want to also remember is that you too can be informed. Now, I've sent this presentation to Val, and she can get it out to, I think you were going to send it to club presidents. And all the links will work. So when you click on the links in the PDF that I sent, you will be able to do this. We have a way to opt in to receive our Kiwanis emails. Now I know, do you really want another email? Well, we share a lot of good information in our emails, information about the convention, information about the Children's Fund, information about member benefits. So you can pick and choose the ones that you want, but be careful when you opt out that you don't opt out of all communications. Because there are things that in your role as a member, as a leader, as a president, secretary, treasurer, lieutenant governor, there are things that we're sharing with you so you will know and then be able to share that as well.
One of the things we've learned in our district is that when someone says they're unsubscribing, they are unsubscribing from all things Kiwanis. And the only way they can come back is to actively have a new email account that then it can be linked in. So people need to be really, really careful about unsubscribing versus opting out and all of those different things. But as we can become more technologically savvy, I think fewer and fewer people are doing that. So
Sure.
Absolutely. All right. So I think that was maybe of your last slide. I'm not sure.
Well, we've got a few more. We've got SLP, Children's Fund, and partnerships. Do you want to go through those now?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we got you. It's like any nuggets that you can share.
Well, the next slide just has some information about service leadership programs. So many of our clubs do sponsor our youth programs. One of the things we're really trying to do now is reactivate those clubs that were paused during the pandemic. Students were unable to meet, just like many Kiwanis clubs were unable to meet. So that if you're aware of clubs that kind of took a back seat during that time period, it's time to get them going again. So reach out to your schools, reach out to your students, because they need us. They really do. They need our support and help. And again, we have a whole website full of resources. Same thing with the Children's Fund. The Children's Fund can help your club. We have a ready-made meeting resource that would walk you through everything you need to educate your members about the Children's Fund. We have new micro grants that are available for clubs. So we're really working hard to meet your needs and deliver the things that will help you and your clubs be successful, because that's what we want, right? We want everyone to know about Kiwanis, to join a club. More people means more service, and then more people that can help. Another way to do that.
I was going to ask you, Vicki, really quickly, because someone's messaged me. Is Kiwanis collecting funds through the Kiwanis International Children's Fund for the earthquake victims because we're showing that there is a really high need to help some of those communities that have been devastated by the earthquakes last week. Do you know if they're working on those grants already?
Not that I'm aware of. I think one of the things that we found was that our ability to respond quickly and nimbly to disasters was not as great as organizations that do that all the time.
Okay.
And getting money to some of these remote places can sometimes be a challenge for us.
Okay.
So for the earthquakes that happened in Syria and Turkey, I would suggest looking at authenticated, well-known organizations that are raising funds and taking the money directly there.
It's kind of like what we did with the Ukraine.
Yes,
so it's if clubs are
absolutely.
going to work with organizations that they know get it directly to
Yes.
the people that need the funds versus us trying to do a conglomerate effort. That makes
Right.
sense.
Because
Thank you.
we don't have clubs in those areas. So
Mhm.
if you were working just, for example, with Doctors Without Borders or something like that, they would be much more able to quickly get funds on the ground to help those people who really need help right now.
Excellent. Thank you.
But then locally in your community, look for partners who can really help your club. We have a sponsorship toolkit available to help you identify those partners. And then Governor Val talked about the signature project contest. Be sure and enter that contest. And if you're working with partners, you can have a greater impact on that signature service project.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This is like absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Good.
Erin, do you want to take over? Because I can just babble forever. You know that.
Hey, it's your show. I'm just driving the car. Don't you worry about it. I do have actually one question before we go to our last break of the show. First of all, well, actually two questions. Vicki, I know obviously people can. What's the best way people may be able to contact you if they have specific questions that maybe they want to approach you with?
Sure. Just email me, vhermansen@kiwanis.org. vhermansen@kiwanis.org.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Now, here's my question. What are, let's say, the top 3 most common questions that you're asked in a month or whatever you want to do? What are the couple of common questions you get?
A lot of the questions I get from leaders like Val and lieutenant governors are, we're really stuck with this club. We're not at charter strength. We know we need to strengthen this club. What can we do to help this club decide if it wants to go forward, or maybe if it's time to merge with another club, let it go and rebuild a new club? What do we do? And I would say go to the ACE tools, the Achieving Club Excellence tools, and look at those, because that gives you a really good toolkit to analyze your club, see what's working, see what's not working. Then if you decide you want to go forward, use the 2 for 2 resources to go out and meet new people in your club and bring new members into your club. So that is really popular. Another question, I get questions all the time on the logos and the branding. I spent 6 years in the Kiwanis Communications Department where I worked on branding, and people still find me and ask me those questions too. And then we get a lot of questions on signature projects. How do we know what is the best signature project? And again, I would say go to the website and look at what are some of the projects that have won in the past. Anything from playgrounds to food service projects. There are just so many things. But when you do your community assessment as part of the ACE tools, you can learn what is really needed in your community. And if you're meeting the needs of your community, you're much more likely to have a successful service project that can be your signature project, the project for which you're known.
Right on, right on. All right, we're going to stop that right there. We're going to go to our final break, because when we come back, we'll wrap up with Vicki. But more importantly, where's Governor Val going to be the next coming week? You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Don't go anywhere.
International is a global community of clubs, members and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org.
Welcome back. I thought we had one more question you were going to run in there.
No,
No? I thought you, oh man, you lied to me, John. Welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Maybe we'll play him on the way out. He was going to run a commercial for some show named Aaron's Hour. I don't know why he was going to do that, but obviously he lost it somewhere. But anyway, thank you for tuning in.
found it.
Found it? Great. Run it on the way up. There you go. $1 late and $2 short. Anyway, however that saying goes. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Val, why don't we wrap up with Vicki, just with what we've been presenting, and then we'll find out where you're hitting the road.
All right, Vicki, I'm so for today. It's like conversations. I think is going to help so much. If there was
Your audio is fading in and out. I'm not hearing you, Val.
Yeah, Val, all of a sudden your audio is going in and out on us.
advice that you could give, one piece of advice be that you want us to.
One piece of advice is what I got from that.
Yeah.
One piece of advice. I think probably the most important thing that everyone needs to do is to share why you're a member of Kiwanis. Because if you tell that story, it's kind of what we call the Kiwanis moment, the moment you knew Kiwanis was right for you, when you were at a service project or found that you were really working to meet an unmet need. That's when it all clicked. And you found out, oh, I can help. I can be a part of this. What I do can be important. So be sure to remember that when you're out, when you're talking to friends, neighbors, colleagues, people at work, share what your club does. Share what your service project is. If you need help with your service project, invite people to join you. Don't give them the join the club pitch immediately. Let them get involved at their own pace. Learn what you're about. Don't, like, oh, another meeting. What they don't know is that they're going to find a whole bunch of people just like them who are working together to help kids. Let them find it out on their own. Use the 2-for-2 materials. Talk about your club, what you're doing, and how you're helping kids in your community.
And I think about finding the why. Wasn't there a time where, or it's probably still out there, where our logo or motto or sayings, whatever you want to call them, was we also help a community one child at a time, right?
Yes, absolutely. And really, that's what we're all doing. When you pack a backpack with books or school supplies or food, you're helping that one child. When you put up the playground with the swing for the child who is maybe using a wheelchair or using a walker, and the ability becomes easier to get to that portion of the playground, you're helping that one child. You're helping everyone, but really you're localizing it and helping that one child.
Val, take it away. Let's see if your audio has kind of corrected itself.
I think I've turned off a couple things there, and I want to, excuse me, here, whenever you're out, get stuff from the Kiwanis store where you're, and you'll discover that people start Kiwanis lady or that, and the kids recognize you. It's made it so that I could have dinner or I got brand new books from you. That's what we want. We want it to be special. So this has been, it's so cool.
Val, we're still getting the choppy feed from you. Again, it's like watching that Godzilla movie from the 1940s. Oh, stop him now. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, so just stay. I know I'm going to get emails now from everybody, but that's okay. You can send them to John at anyway. By the way, there is a message on there from Leanne. Listen, Vicky, if nothing else, if we can't laugh and have fun, the show's not worth it too. Anyway, from Leanne, don't forget to announce the new Reading Sundial Club. Congratulations out there. Val, that was the club you guys, you got off the ground within the last week, wasn't it, when after the show?
Right, third, we opened up and there are 23 members. Hopefully I'm not still, am I still choppy?
We're
It's getting a little better.
It's getting a little better. Plus, we're getting chunks of information enough. I think we're getting the message out.
23 new
All
members.
right.
23 members. We got that.
And people are so excited to bring more people in. So if you have any family members that are living, Kiwanis is back. And so right after I met with you guys. And so this week we are going to tell Las Vegas Kiwanis Club on if anybody hasn't joined the Kiwanis Club, their opportunity. We'll be meeting at 5 and Marie.
Val, I got to stop you because it's like it was coming in chunks, and then it's like the audio is not synced with your video right now, and we're only getting little chunks of it. So, traveling.
You lead the way then.
No, yeah. Well, I wish I knew your schedule. If you want to use it, if you have access to the Facebook chat and type in your dates, I heard you say you're coming to Vegas, which is important because when you come into Vegas, you're obviously going to be in studio live. That's why it's a great treat to have you here. Is that correct?
No.
Oh.
I'm only in Vegas for one.
That's it. Show's canceled. If she can't get in here like she's supposed to, no. Can you type in the chat box the date and where you're going to be for that meeting? And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you love about technology. It works so well, and then you forget to put a quarter in the slot like a parking meter, and you get fined, and stuff starts breaking all over the place. But that's okay. Listen, Val, we need to get you like a Wi-Fi booster or something to help you. I'm only in Vegas. For Monday. Okay. Is that this Monday? Shake your head yes or no. Yes, no. Oh, so this Monday, the 13th, you're here. What is your plan? Are you planning another visit back to be in studio on a Friday, or is that going to be until March? March? Okay, I'll get the dates. Boy, I feel like, I hope it's not. Oh, no, I know that'll be midwinter south because I'll be on a cruise ship. And then you'll be in Reno. Oh, you better dress warm up there, too. Like, don't change your suitcase from where you are in Michigan. By the way, do you know what they call someone from Michigan? They call them a Michiganer. If you know Yiddish, you know what that means. Anyway, I'm really trying to. I know the crowd is so tough. Oh, you know what I mean? No respect. But anyway, so you got Reno this week, Vegas on Monday. I'm sure. Now, what are you coming into Vegas for on Mondays? After the new club, right? The new downtown club. Excellent. Thank you. Oh, thank Rob for being your host while you're in Michigan.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thanks. Oh, Bob, I'm sorry. I need better glasses, or John needs bigger letters on the screen. I don't know what it is. But I hope Bob got out of the way while you were throwing axes. That's all that I hope really happened. You'll have to check her page to see what we're talking about there. Vicky, you think this is easy, huh? With no script to go by and don't know her schedule. I'm just vamping like you have no belief right now until we get to the top of the hour. Okay, so March, you're coming in. You're going to be in Reno this week. Vicky, what do you have planned? Let's change gears. What do you have planned for this upcoming week? Any seminars, conversations? What's going on for you in KI next week?
Well, this week we are planning on working on all of the presentations that all of the people in roles similar to mine do at mid-year meetings. So Val had the distinction of having the first mid-year with the one in Monterey, where I came out and did the resources presentation that I just gave to you. And then I did another one on using Kiwanis branding to grow your club, talking about some of the themes that we went through today about making sure everything is similar, properly branded, so you know what you get when you walk in. And then I also gave the 2 for 2 presentation.
Excellent.
Which is another way of, putting a label on something we should all be doing, going out and meeting with people and inviting them to join our work in Kiwanis. So we're putting together all kinds of presentations that will be available for everyone to use at the education sessions that they're having in March.
And unfortunately, the one that keep it up there so I can read the
Yeah.
message from Val. I'm reading 40 different message pages to get all the information out on a big screen over there. Unfortunately, I was supposed to come up to Midwinter North, but I got sick on Thursday, and thank goodness because the voice had no voice. So I had to cancel that trip. I'm sorry I missed you there. And unfortunately for Mid-Year South, which I was hoping to go to, my wife, she kind of twisted my arm. So for our 34th anniversary, we're taking a cruise, and we don't get back until Sunday as you guys wrap up the mid-year. So I'm sorry I'm going to miss it there. But, my attention to my wife is duly needed. And, after 34 years, I better listen to her. So Governor Val also shares that she's opening a club in Coachella Valley. I hope I pronounced that right. Gridley, and also in Hawaii the rest of the month. Well, what part of Hawaii, Val? I know you can't say it, but if you type it in there, maybe if it's an area near where my friend Jennifer McCord is, maybe we can entice her to get to a meeting. Although she does teach kindergarten. So if it's anything morning or like lunchtime, it will be tough for her. But so that's great. So we have 3 more clubs on the horizon. I can't wait to find out year-end results of club growth. It's an E-club, multi-island. Oh, you got to get me that information because then Jennifer will have no excuses. And I notice she hasn't chimed in yet in the chat room because she knows I'm actually going to be haunting her about this. So anyway, listen, you know what? The good thing is we vamped long enough. I think we're about the end of the show before Val jumps off the cliff because our audio is not working correctly. We got to pay that Wi-Fi bill better. Anyway, Vicki, listen, I always ask all of our guests for a final thought as we say goodbye. So please, what would be your final thought today to share with our Kiwanis Connects family?
I just want to make sure that everyone knows how much we at Kiwanis International appreciate everything that you do in your communities and in your meetings and in your conversations, your projects. You really are making a difference, and we appreciate. We know we ask a lot of you, do this education, do this training, but we really appreciate everything that you do for Kiwanis. Because
Right
why?
on.
Kids need Kiwanis.
There you go. There you go. All right, I'll read that in a second. Val, you want to try the audio one last time to give your last minute message?
Aloha. It's not working.
All right, well, we got Aloha. It's not working, so we got that. But she does share with us, mahalo for all that you do around CNH. Your community and your kids need you now more than ever. Well said. Thank you, Vicki, for coming in today. We appreciate it. For you, it's just about lunchtime, I believe. You're what, 2 hours ahead or 3 hours ahead?
3.
3. All right, so it's past lunchtime. We kept you past your lunch hour. Sorry about that. But seriously, thank you for your time. It's great having reps from KI to share their experience, their insight, and what they do to help us, since we're the ones with our boots on the ground, so to speak, and we want to thank everybody for that. 3 messages as I say goodbye. Number 1, don't forget to tune in to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Tomorrow from 9 to 11, we have Brian Myers, wrestler from Impact Wrestling, joining us online. And then we also have other guests coming in my show, Aaron Zauer. I have a wonderful guest, stuntman and actor known as Anthony Thunder, and I'll tell you his real name tomorrow from 12 to 1 p.m. Anyway, as always, by the way, if anybody does take 2 for 2 Taco Tuesday, I better start seeing something for that. Anyway.
Guacamole.
What's that?
Guacamole.
Guacamole.
We want guacamole.
Well, I want rather have the taco. Anyway, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. We'll see you next time right here on Kiwanis Connects. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Aaron Phillips here, inviting you to join me every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV on my show, Aaron Zauer with Aaron Phillips. I bring to you the movers and shakers of Las Vegas and really all around the world. It's also fun, entertaining, silly, goofy, informative, everything you'd want to be entertained by on a Saturday, except no politics, no religion. As I said, it's designed to be a fun show. Remember, that's every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, Aaron Zauer, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV.